I am the Great Me, and this is going to be an explanation of my user interface. So anyone who's actually looking at the screen right now is probably going to notice that there's a lot of shit going on in my UI. And that's because, well, I like to have a lot of information being displayed. It's that simple. I want to know every single little thing possible, and then from that I decide what's useful for me. So I have a lot of things that are redundant. I have a lot of things tracking the same buffs over and over and over again, just so no matter where I look, I know what I need to know when I need to know it. Starting out in the top left corner, I have Pitbull 4. I use it for my player frames, target frame, and target of target frame. I've been using Pitbull since I discovered the mod. I really like its customizability. You could use a couple different mods if you were so inclined, such as Shadowed Unit Frames, or if you really hate yourself, you could also use Xpearl. For my boss frames, I use Shadowed Unit Frames. I do this because currently Pitbull does not allow you to create boss frames, so that, and I hate the Blizzard ones, so I went with Shadowed Unit Frames and only use that aspect of the mod, even though I could pretty much have it take over Pitbull if I was so inclined, but I really don't feel like spending the time to set it all up, so just went with the boss frames. For my heads-up display, I use Ice HUD. There really isn't a whole lot for me to say, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you could use Arc HUD instead of Ice HUD if you were so inclined, if that mod still actually is up to date. There's a lot of things that I don't do with Ice HUD that I could do, but I strictly use it for monitoring my health and my rage. Other than that, I mean, you can make it look really, really pretty, but I wanted it to be completely functional and not really all that aesthetic, so I chose not to make it really, really pretty. For my raid frames, I use grid. There really isn't a whole lot that I personally need to use grid for other than just monitoring shit, whether that be somebody's health, their debuffs, etc., etc. I have it set up so it shows the icons on the side. You can get that downloader thing from Curse. You can also download the thing from Curse for the mana bars, which you can see there, and as well the raid markers. Yeah, that's about it. For my action bars, I use Bartender 4. I do this simply because, well, it was really easy for me to set up Bartender, that, and it just happened to be the one that I downloaded. The cooldown timers on my buttons, that is OmniCC, and the thing that makes my buttons look pretty is Button Facade. I'll get back to that later on in this video. Now for the part where shit gets really, really redundant. For Cinch Units buff frame, I have a lot of things that I track. I have a lot of different frames. I have the standard, all the fucking buffs frame at the top that allows me to click it off. I also have down by my recount, I have it track all of my weapon procs, various types of procs, whether that be from my 4 set, from trinkets, flurry, weapon enchants, etc. In the middle of my screen, down by my bartender, I have a bar that just shows me the duration left on the enrage effect that I have that has the most time remaining, and above that I have a icon frame that just shows all of the enrage effects currently on me. I fucked up and I have it actually showing recklessness, but oh well. And in between that I also have a different frame that shows the duration on my Blood Surge procs. Up at the top on the left by my Deadly Boss Mods timer, and also kind of by my health bar for my HUD, there is a frame there that I know you can't see right now, but it's definitely there. What it does is it shows the duration of cooldowns that are on me that keep me alive, such as Shield Wall and Rage Regen, Last Stand, as well as external cooldowns such as, well, Guardian Spirit, Hand of Sack, and other ones of that nature. Finally, up at the top, in the middle, you can, well, there's no debuffs right now, but whatever, you'll probably see it at some point in time in this video. I have my normal debuffs frame, but I've also filtered a couple debuffs the debuffs that I've filtered out are the sated / temporal displacement / exhaustion debuffs from heroism and whatnot, as well as the weakened soul debuff, just because I don't like having them popped up in the middle of my screen. I use Oracle to track a couple different types of debuffs and also a couple different types of buffs. I have it set for the Demote Shout type debuff, as well as the Thunderclap type debuff, and the Thunder type debuff. For buffs, I have... it's under my Rage bar normally, but it has a Commanding Shout and a Battle Shout one, where it only shows if I've casted it, or if it's missing. I use Power Auras for... mostly for debuffs, mostly for oh shit type debuffs that make you want to get away from the raid or something like that. But I also use it to track heroism / bloodlust / time warp, as well as my recklessness, and also a couple other things, such as what you could see there, which was battle trance. I think that's it, but there's probably something else that I'm missing. Oh, I also have a track Inner Rage, which you can see right now, Shield Wall, Enraged Gen, and Guardian Spirit, a couple other various things, but you get the point. Starting out with the various data tracking shit that I use, I have Mixed Scrolling Battle Text, or MSBT. I use it to track all of the incoming damage and healing that I take. This is over by my health bar on my HUD. I also have it track all of the energy gains, as well as buffs and debuffs that I gain. That's over by my rage bar on my HUD. And finally, I also have it track my outgoing damage. Actually, not finally, but anyway. It tracks all my outgoing damage. I don't really use it all that much. I just use it for reference if I want to know, hey, how much did I totally do with my Whirlwind or something like that. And finally, I also have it track like certain things like Slam. You could see it a couple seconds ago where it just popped up and said Slam. I have it track certain buffs and debuffs like that. I also have it track any cooldown that's coming off cooldown that's more than like 100 seconds long. Next, I have Recount. Yeah, pretty much anybody who plays this game knows what Recount is. I use Recount instead of SCADA because, well, I like add-ons that are not made by communists and are actually accurate. SCADA is an awful add-on that doesn't do anything good. That's my personal opinion, so if you use SCADA religiously, well, I feel sorry for you, but whatever. Next, I have Omen. Again, if you play this game, you've probably heard of Omen. But on that note, if anybody's watching this and they're really, really, really good at Lua, and they know how to do some fancy shit with that, please let me know, because there are some modifications that I would like to make to my Omen, but I am a retard at Lua, so I don't know how to do it. So if you know anything about it, please contact me. Next, I have Time to Die. Yeah, it's a pretty fucking simple add-on. Basically what it does is it calculates how long until the ad dies, or whatever you're attacking dies. It's really that easy. It's really helpful for knowing, A, will we make the enrage timer, or is DPS awful? And for the rest of the random add-ons that I use, they get filed under miscellaneous shit. My minimap add-on is Chinchilla. I used to use Sexy Map, but it hasn't been updated in ages. That, and I found it to be really distracting because it looks so damn cool that it kind of was an eyesore. So, I mean, if you want a really sweet looking minimap, definitely get a Sexy Map, but be prepared for your ADD to act up. My tooltip add-on is TipTac. Yeah, it makes the in-game tooltips not suck. It also allows you to move them, and it does a whole lot of other shit that you can do with it, but yeah, it's really nice. I like it. There's probably some other ones out there, but I haven't used them because I like this one. The add-on that changes the font of my damage that I do, as well as my healing, obviously, but I'm not a healer, is called Nice Damage. You can just Google it and you'll find the download for it. It's pretty fucking simple. It allows you to change it to anything. I just use the default one because I'm lazy and I like it. So, yeah. As mentioned earlier, the add-on that I use in conjunction with my bartender to make them look pretty is Button Facade. It also affects my Centrina's buff frames. The whole point of it is just to make things look pretty. I use the Kate layout with Button Facade. You have to download that extra. There's a whole mess of other ones that you can download too, though. I also use KG panels. Well, I only have one panel that goes right behind my main action bar block. It's simply just a black box behind it just to create a background. Nothing fancy. And I also have X Loot, which is an add-on that just changes the loot window. I have Bagnon, which changes your bags. My boss mods, I use Deadly Boss Mod, or Bigwigs, I switch between the two. And finally, I use Quartz, that is my casting bar add-on. So yeah, that's my UI. I hope it helps you make sense of the shitfest that is my screen. On a bit of a side note, I would like to start making more videos again. Obviously, I won't be doing them with TankSpot because, well, I'm not a employee of ZAM, but that's a different story for a different time. Anyway, if you have some idea for maybe you want me to make a video of this or make a video of that, let me know. Who knows, I might just listen. Preferably good ideas. Doesn't even have to necessarily be involved with World of Warcraft. I don't know, I could talk about geopolitics of North Korea or something. I don't really give a shit. I don't know if people really want to listen to that. Yeah, I really don't care. I'm bored, and it feels like it's been forever since I've made a video, probably because it more or less has been forever in internet years. So, yeah, if you have an idea, talk to me. Who knows? I might just listen. So, keep that in mind. If I listen, it'll all be your fault.